this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Bargains. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I have something to show you today. This is my second craft that I've ever done. And I have to show it to you. I'm so proud of it. And I actually made it for my hubby, Ed. Ed is a plant person. He's a gardener. He loves plants. He loves flowers. So yeah. And it was so funny because I went with Chris across the street and two other ladies, and we went to a nursery that has nothing but plants. And so we actually had a private booking, and they charged us for a bird cage, and you could get all sizes, and then you could put all the succulents in there that you wanted to. So when I got there, I don't know, something just went ding, ding, ding and said, listen, you need to make something for Ed. And so I did. So let me show you what everything represents. Okay, Ed and I, this is what I made. It's got the little bird on top. It represents my mom because my mom loved birds. She loved cardinals, but anything to do with birds. She could sit outside and just, she'd talk about the birds, and when the birds would fly by, it was just like serenity for her. And so this represents my mom. And then when Ed's mom passed, we saw a lot of butterflies. And I said, I think that your mom is giving us a sign through butterflies. And so every time now that we see a butterfly, we always think of his mom, Jane. So I put a butterfly on there to represent his mom. So we have our two moms there, and I was very connected to his mom. And of course, my mom was my very best friend, will always be. And I love my mom. And then what you do is you pop this up. And I don't want to do that, but I learned so much in this class because I don't know anything about gardening, crafts. And so my husband loves cactuses. And so there was a man that owned the nursery, and his name was Billy. And he stayed with us through the entire, I guess you would say, project. And he would tell us the succulents. We had to do it with all succulents that were good for the size cage that we got. And so these little things are so pretty right here. When they grow, they're actually going to fall down. Now, for those of you that are crafters, you already know this, but we started out with this, and I don't know the name of it, but it catches the water. And so we had to double it and make it in the shape of whatever container we were using. And then soil was put inside of this, the little thing that catches the water. And then we planted the succulents, and it was very interesting to me because he gave us something like a chopstick. And so we would put the little holes in there and stuff the plants down in the soil, and then we would cover it back up using this chopstick looking thing. But I got one cactus in here, and then I put jelly beans. And this is an interesting little plant right here, because if the jelly bean falls off, you just put it back in the soil, and it'll take about 3 weeks for it to rejuvenate and grow back. And I just thought that was so interesting. The man just taught me so much. And so I got a big one of these succulents, and then I picked out, for me and him, I picked this out for me because I like color because it matched the jelly beans. And I was trying to find the small cactus that I put in here. Ed loves cactuses. He loves cactuses. There it is. Here's the cactus, and it is a slow growing cactus. And you know, my mom always said when she was doing her plants or her flowers, you have to be gentle with the roots. Well, what the man taught me about succulents, Billy, is that they have very strong roots and you don't have to be gentle with them. So the other thing is with succulents, because they are such a very healthy plant, if they start growing too much, all you have to do is just clip them with scissors. Just clip them. You don't have to cut them, just clip them with scissors. And so, as you can see, I placed everything, and so now a lot of things are beginning to grow. I've had this for maybe a week now, and so some of these have started growing out through the cage. And so I love this. And so in here, there are things that I put that represent places that Ed and I have been, traveled together, but I made this for my hubby. And so everything I make or participate in, I give it a name. And this, since this was for Ed, and he has a 1947 Hudson, so I named this Huddy, Huddy. So not only is it after my hubby, it's after his Hudson. So that's how I came up with Huddy. And I have to say, this is the first thing that I have ever personally made for Ed. And as much as he loves plants, he was so excited. I mean, it's the thought, right? I'm definitely not like a great decorator and all that, but when it starts actually flowing out, it's going to be really, really pretty, I think, especially the jelly beans. So, and then of course we have our parents to represent, encompass us. That I have more of a technical mind, believe it or not, a technical vision than I do a crafty vision. And so, yeah, that's what this is all about. And I had to show it to you because I am so proud of this. I am becoming in my mature age where I'm so enjoying these things. And Ed and I are going to take a class together, not a class, but a project. And they have planters, they have bird cages that are so tall, but I started out with the smallest thing they had. And just to give you an idea, there was no charge for the private party, which there was 4 of us, and everything right here, and I stuffed this thing full, you know. This was $35, the entire thing. And so, yes, I love it, wouldn't take anything for it. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And you know what, now that I'm into this, I hope that you will make something for your loved one, whether it's your mother, your father, your children, your spouse, your partner, because I'm going to tell you, Ed, oh, and on succulents, he says, he told me, do not water this until it is dry, because the one thing about succulents is that if you overwater them, they're not going to make it. So I talk to it, and I get Ed, since it's his plant, and he knows about all of our plants in our house, he's the one that waters it. And so far, it has not needed water because it's not dry. The other thing about succulents, they do not need to be in direct sunlight. So this is not going in our garden until summer, spring or summer, but it can't be in direct sunlight. If you do put it in direct sunlight, it changes the colors, it fades them out. And that's the one really pretty thing about succulents, are their color. So guys, go out and make something today. If I can do it, you can do it. So be a rainbow in someone's clouds today. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is my second craft I've ever made. And this one was for my hubby. And I'm so glad I did that. So I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.